Hey guys, it's Ryan at Snaky's Garage. Today we're going to be getting started on removing a power steering rack from a 2006 Corvette C6. This applies to C5s as well. Basically, I'm getting this out of the way so I can get to my harmonic balancer bolt and the timing components underneath, and the cam as well. Let's get started. Come around the car here. There's a few places you can start. No crazy numerical order on what you will have to do the beginning of this in. Just get the accessory bracket out of the way. I just removed it completely. It just makes it easier for me. Plus I had to clean it off. There was sludge all over the whole front part of the engine here. Power steering leaked pretty bad. And yeah, so that's the main reason I just took it all out. So with that being said, you're going to want to remove all these lines here from the ABS block and this connector down here as well. And then the next step after that is remove these two bolts down here, inlet and outlet on the rack, and the bolt to the intermediate shaft for the steering. So let's get started on that quick. Alright, so the union bolts that are hooking the brake lines to the ABS module are all going to be 13s. So let's get these removed quick. You're taking these lines off of the ABS block here. Just try to keep them clipped together. If you don't have clips, just label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 from back to front. It'll make it that much easier when you got to put the block back in, so you're not trying to trace lines back to where they go. Alright, so once you get all the hard lines removed here, just take these two bigger lines and move them to the back. They're going to leak, so you might want to put something underneath to catch that brake fluid as it drips out. These lines right here, like I said, there should be clips on them like this. Just keep them organized. Label them. I'm not going to do it to mine. I know where all this goes. So next up is going to be removing the clips that are on the block and then tackling the bolts that hold it on. So this is going to be a pinch style clip. Basically pinch, the lever will come up, pull it back. This style is going to have a locking mechanism on it. You're going to have to use a flat blade screwdriver, I believe, to get this loose. It's been a while since I've done one. Give me 1 second here. Alright, let's see if I can hold the camera while doing this. This is going to be kind of a tight area, but what worked for me is a flat blade, semi bigger in size. Get under the back. 1 second here. Loosen the front here. On the back just like this. See how it's underneath it? Just pull it back. Take your hand, your finger, put it in there. Should come right out. Like this is going to be a little bit tight back here, so you might have some fun getting it out. Next, there's going to be two bolts on top of the front and back, or I should say on the side of the front and back, that are holding this unit on. Those again are 13 mil. Let's remove these. And there's one up here. So now that when you're at this stage, the block should just come out. There's the ABS control block. Set it out to the side. Probably on something that isn't concrete surface, so it doesn't stain if you care about your garage floor. And next we're going to work on getting this bracket off. Next you want to crawl underneath the car here. This is at the driver front part of the cradle. There'll be two bolts holding on this bracket in the front. So you want to break these loose. The top bolt is coming out now. See how the whole bracket moves? You want to get up top now. Make sure you don't lose these washers either that go with them. So you want to get up top, you just come right out. Next you're going to want to get into the intermediate shaft bolt where it connects with the power steering rack here. I don't know if you can see that, but come on. Right there. It's going to be an 11 mil. bolt has to come all the way out. Put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it. And this shaft right here has to be disconnected. Sometimes you're gonna have to pry pretty good, but sometimes it comes out like this. I think it's only because it's been sitting in power steering fluid for God knows how long, but you might not be this lucky. Alright, so I put a light in here, makes it a little bit easier to see, but next you're going to want to tackle these two lines right here on the rack itself. Those are going to be 18 mils. I left half my tools at home, so I got to use this shitty adjustable wrench. Hopefully it works. Alright. Like I said, with everything being covered in fluid for so long, it makes this job a lot easier than it should be. I mean, it is technically not an all-season car either, so that always helps. Get these removed here. Alright, they're both out now. So I actually removed one of the two lines. It slid right out once I took the accessory drive bracket off the power steering. So I took that out, put it over there. It's actually this line right here. That came out. I'm just going to remove all this stuff because, as you can see, it's just covered in shit. I want to clean all this up before I put it back in. As we are back under the vehicle here, you got one bracket here and one here. These need to come off. They're for the cooler up there. They're in the way of this bolt. I don't know if you can see it, but that's one bolt that holds the steering rack onto the cradle. Forgot to mention as well, these are going to be 10 mil bolts. Let's see if I can get at these here. Actually, this is an 11. This is not going to help me. Be right back. Back under here. Got overkill. I'm using my freaking my 1/2-inch drive here. But like I said, I left some of my tools at home. That includes my 10 mil socket for the 3/8 drive. And of course I can't fit it up there. One. Let me get this one up there now. So this actually will drop right down. As you can see, only one, actually no lines are connected right now. So yeah, you can just drop this out of the way or take it out. It is your choice. I'm just gonna opt to take mine out here. Get it out of the way. Less stuff I gotta worry about later. Move this off to the side. So next you're gonna want to remove this connector here. Right there, that one. I'm not exactly sure what it's for yet. I'll be digging into it in a second. But it's hung up on the rack and I can't remove the rack without it being disconnected, so. Alright, so next you're gonna want to get at that bolt right there, right in the center. And you need an open end wrench on one side and an impact or another open end wrench on the other, or a socket, whatever you prefer. This is the bolt that was down there. It is an 18 mil, if you guys are wondering. And I'm going to get started on the driver's side bolt now. Alright, so the last bolt on the rack is going to be a little bit hard to get to. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. Obviously use an open end on the back side. And I believe the front is accessible with an extension. Alright, so yeah, the front. Right there's the other end of the bolt. The sway bar is in the way. I don't know if you guys want to drop the brackets to pull the sway bar down a hair. That's up to you. I'm just going to attack this with a swivel socket. Alright, once you get the nut off the back, you just pull this through. You might need some assistance because the rack is going to be weighing on it. There you go. Bolt is out. So what you're going to want to do is go to the passenger side now. Each bolt is going to be out of the rack itself on each side, and you're going to want to pull up on the rack and then rotate it clockwise so that the gear on the bottom is facing north. Now what you're going to want to do, since I'm alone, I have to do this off camera, but you're going to want to take the rack and push it into the passenger side quarter panel until the gear gets to about here. And then you're going to want to raise this gear up and remove it out the driver's side over the quarter panel over there. So I kind of mocked it up here on the windshield, see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So as you can see, it's loose right now. You want to move this over to the passenger side until you can get this tie rod through into the engine bay like this. Once it's exposed, you're going to want to work this side up and out. Try not to ding up your quarter panel on your driver's side. It is a very big possibility you might do so. Let's see here. A lot of stuff in the way I should have moved, but like I said, I'm by myself, so do what I can. Alright. As you can see, it is out. And we're done. You get the rack out, put it out to the side somewhere, and then basically it's as simple as going to rent a puller for the harmonic balancer bolt, pulling that pulley off, and then everything else is pretty self-explanatory with the timing components underneath. That'll be another video another time though. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe below. I will be having more C5 and C6 tutorial videos coming soon on this build. I am doing a cam swap myself on the C6 and look forward to more videos. Thank you.